All right. So normally I don't admit when my stupidity or feel stupid or I don't get something. But this is a situation I just don't fucking get. If someone can enlighten me, because I'm old and all that. So Amaranth, as I'm sure if you guys have heard, she was on stream and she's like, talking to her husband on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave you only with $1 million," and everyone's like, "Oh my god, girl, I'm so sorry for you. You need to leave him." Um, she's like, "Oh, he made me do all these hot tub live streams and blah blah blah, and oh god, feel bad for me." But then she posts, where is it? This, taking a break, not sure when I'll be back. And you're thinking, okay, maybe it's legit. Posts the very next day. After that, next day. Oh, gee, what do you know? She's back to showing off the goods. And so most people were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry your husband's still making you do this. So what I'm trying to understand. So she's free from her husband, apparently. She's got control of her accounts, apparently. And yet she's going back to the same thing she was being forced to do. Now, I can say from experience that if someone's, if I'm not happy doing something, if I have a chance to leave it, I'm going to. My situation is not like hers. The money isn't nearly as big amount as hers, but I was at Valero. I was working there 9 hours a day. I was making about $9.50, $10 an hour, and I worked 5 days a week. So that's pretty good money. But I was being disrespected constantly. And even if they weren't outright doing it, they put me on the register. They knew goddamn well didn't work. It was over. It was pretty much every day I was either over or under because this thing didn't fucking work properly. It would constantly freeze up. It would constantly say an amount that wasn't actually there. Sometimes something would be for like 350 and would say like, 2 something or 5 something. They knew that it needed to be fixed. They never fucking did it. I had to clean up literal shit off the fucking walls. The same people coming out and then touching our fucking food. It was just one thing after another. So good money. But I left them a note. I left them and said, it's been fun, but I'm done. So they sat me down and tried to convince me, like, oh, don't leave. And I'm like, no, I'm leaving. I'm going back to SeaWorld. Like, why would you want to go back to SeaWorld? You're not going to get paid as much. I'm like, it's not about the pay. I just feel disrespected. No one here fucking listens to a damn thing I say. You guys keep putting me on the register. Doesn't work. You don't do anything about it. And here I am every day being over or under because either that or I have to keep giving refunds to people because they're like, 20 on pump 3. And then they go out and they come back in and it's like, oh, it's not working. You share your pump 3? Oh man, I'm sorry, I meant pump 5. So you have to refund and this and that, and just I'm tired of it. So I'd rather go back to SeaWorld where I know I won't be fucking disrespected than stay here walking 45 minutes to and from work. So it's not about the pay. I don't care about the pay. But I'm not going to stay somewhere and do something when I feel disrespected. And leaving, it's not like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go right back to doing this. After leaving, it's not like I'm going to be like, oh yeah, let me just go back to Valero. So you have a bunch of people like, oh, I'm so sorry your husband's making you do this still. So I don't understand. Like, I mean, a lot of people have said that it was just a publicity thing. They're like, well, what does she have to gain from that? That's what she has to gain. She comes out, she starts crying, and oh my God, I'm only going to be left with $1 million. Whatever am I going to do? You want to know what's going to happen? All those simps are going to band together, and even more people are going to come in, and they're going to just take my money. That's why. If she is in a relationship with her husband, and this and that, and he really is a douchebag, then good riddance. But why would you go back if he was forcing her to dress a certain way and all that? Why would you go back to doing it? If she has full control over her life now, she has full control over her accounts and this and that, why would she go back to doing it? Well, she likes sex work, that's why. Yeah, something real, be real proud of. You know, because it's like I said, like I showed, it's she's like, oh, I'm taking a break, and then like a day or two later, she's back to posting the same kind of pictures that she normally would. So, what's the deal? In fact, someone, let's see, trying to find the comment I left. Let's see, is it this one? No, not that one. I said, so sorry that your husband is making you dress this way still, or is he not? Hard to tell. And then this person says, look, bro, I'll explain in simple words. Husband say wear cleavage, stream. She throw husband. She dress like she want now. She enjoys sex work and she enjoy dress like that. So she didn't enjoy it before simply because her husband making her do something that she already liked doing, so therefore took the fun out of it. So like it's like she enjoyed doing it before he made her, and then she just stopped liking it because she was being forced to. Or did she all of a sudden like doing it after her husband had no more control? It's like, what? That's what makes no fucking sense. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry you're being forced to dress like this again. So you guys can see this. Ah! God damn it! Every fucking time. They knew I was fucking right, which means... Let's see if... No, I don't think I can. So basically they're trying to say about, with PayPal. PayPal's adding like a $2,500 fine for misinformation. This person says, easy fix, stop spreading misinformation. And then they say, big tech, it's our job to stop the spread of misinformation. Also big tech, saying that men can get pregnant. And this one said something about trans men. I said, trans men are still biological women, smart one, so no fucking shit they could get pregnant. They have a uterus, ovaries, cervix, and everything needed because they're biological women. Trust the science, you people say. Maybe you should take your own advice. And of course, the person blocks me because they're a fucking pussy. Yeah. Where was right here. Because they're a fucking pussy. Good job, smart one. Just showed how fucking intellectual you were. Exactly. Trust the science, they say. I have no problem if you want to identify as trans, but to get people to believe that trans men are biological females. They still have a cervix. They have ovaries. They have a uterus. They still have those wider birthing hips. So yes, no matter how much hair they have on their face, they still have the necessary components to become pregnant. A trans female is biologically male. Therefore, periods cannot happen because a trans female still has a dong between their legs. And if you're bleeding out of your dong or your asshole, you need to go get checked. But they don't like facts. And they're the same ones that with certain sickness type things. They're like, trust the science. But then when you tell them about biological facts for the human body, they're like, fuck you, you're just a fucking transphobe. First off, being phobic means being afraid of something. We're not afraid of trans people. We're not afraid of black people. We're not afraid of them. But to try to force us to believe that the trans females can have periods and that, you know, that's just ridiculous. But of course they did the fucking pussy way out. But yeah, can someone explain? Because as I said, if I was forced to do something that I didn't want to do, and I finally got away from it, I certainly would not go back to it. And I love how everyone was acted all surprised when she said she had a husband. All these fucking e-thoughts online, they all have husbands or boyfriends. What do you think they do when they get off the fucking streams? They go get rammed by their fucking boyfriends or husbands. And all these other dudes are like, oh my god, my queen, you're gonna be mine. I love you so much. Here, take everything I earned this year. And then when they find out they have a husband or a boyfriend, they're like, oh my god, I feel so betrayed. Dude, you really thought they were single. Come on. Come the fuck on. You're giving money to a woman you know damn full well has some, like, was it like, for a while it was the same thing with Pokimane, Belle Delphine when she was still doing, everyone's like, oh yeah, she's single, no. She's getting rammed every fucking night by her boyfriend. And you guys are just stupidly just throwing money at her. And buying her bathwater. And then drinking it. And then getting surprised when you get sick. Gee, who knew that drinking water that contained skin from someone and all the bacteria from someone's fucking asshole and pussy, who knew that you would get sick from drinking it? Who knew? But can someone please explain this? I'm old. You know, as I said, if she was truly in a bad relationship, why would she go back to the very same thing she was saying that, oh, I was being forced to do? I don't understand. She's still young, I'm thinking, right? Hang on, let me see how old she actually is. All right, so she's 28, so still pretty young. I mean, a lot, still younger than me. But I don't understand. Like I said, why would you go back to doing the things and dressing the same way you were being forced to dress? So was it she was already like this? And because it just the whole, oh, my boyfriend was making me do that, it just seems less credible now because she's doing the exact same thing she said he was forcing her to do. Not to mention that whole the fact that she didn't take a break at fucking all. You know? Go to media. So she said 19th, oh, I'm taking a break. But then the very next day, she's loading pictures, dressing the same freaking way. I don't get it. I'm old. What can you do? When you get older, things just make less sense, especially when it comes to you know, I'm not as young and hip. I'm not like these young hip whippersnappers selling their bodies online. When I was there back in my day, we had to pay people up front if we wanted sex with them, and we actually got something out of it. We didn't pay for no pictures of assholes and boobs. If I paid a woman, we had sex. These boys nowadays throwing money at women, all they're getting is picture of boobies when you can go online and look them up for free. Have some respect for yourselves. Like, seriously. They're paying for pictures for tits and assholes, and you can go look it up online for free. You're not even getting anything out of it. Just go find a fucking hooker and have sex with them. You know, at least get your money's worth out of it. Have some fucking respect for yourself. But wrap it up. I know some of them don't care. I know some of them do have a strict, condom, clause there. Is like, hey, you can't fuck me without a condom, obviously, because they're prostitutes and, might have every disease under the fucking sun. But you're paying just to see her tits and ass, and what do you get in return? I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I mean, I may be 34, but this whole idea of paying someone online for nothing whatsoever except for pictures of their tits and ass, which you can look up online for free. Hell, they even have what technology now where you can take a certain pair of tits that you like and AI someone's face onto it that you want. So you could do it for free. What? I don't understand. You know, as I said, I'm not afraid to admit something like this. I'm stupid because I just don't get it. I don't. I don't get why guys are doing this, throwing hard-earned money at someone who's not really giving them anything valuable in return. I don't get why someone's like, oh God, my husband made me do all these things, but now I'm just gonna go right back to doing the same fucking shit he made me do because suddenly I like it. Oh, I don't get it. So please, enlighten the old man. You know, this old man with your youthful knowledge and your little whippersnappers. I'm done.